We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Stonewall Museum and Diana Nyad unveil National LGBTQ+ Sports Archive, celebrating queer athletes, advocacy, and inclusive sports culture in America.
False posts on Facebook accuse stars of anti-LGBTQ+ acts. Experts warn such AI-fueled hoaxes exploit division and weak online moderation.
Transgender and non-binary students in Texas report growing harassment and isolation as the state restrictions and anti-LGBTQ policies reshape campus climates.
Army veteran Dylan Blaha runs for Congress, pledging to defend LGBTQ+ rights, equality, and economic justice through inclusive, data-driven policies.
On his husband Tommy DiDario's podcast, Gio Benitez reflects on growing up closeted, self-acceptance, and the power of authenticity.
All this important LGBTQ+ news and more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified the Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 11 million views. We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice and our rainbow family. There is no other news program like in the LGBT world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Tuesday, October 28th. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we will tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBTQ community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America. Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine celebrates 40 years in the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 11,000 LGBTQ television stories. We represent South Florida's major LGBTQ events, including Pride South Florida, Stonewall Pride, and our own Pride Fest. Our magazine, events, and television news, our talk and entertainment shows support mission to educate the LGBTQ community and broader sense of area.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ community. Let's welcome this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Jennifer McClain, a powerhouse entertainer for over 20 years who has captivated audience from Key West to Fire Island and beyond. Featured on CNN and in the film Big Easy Queens, she's a multi-award winning singer and actor, celebrated as South Florida's favorite local celebrity and beloved performer on land and sea. Jennifer, Misconceptions Nightmare on Drag Street comes to the Well on October 30th. Tell me, what's happening out?
The Well Wilton Manors will sparkle with sequins and screams on Thursday, October 30th, as Misconception celebrates her 25th silver anniversary with Nightmare on Drag Street. Doors will open at 7 p.m. and the show will begin at 8 p.m., promising a night packed with dazzling illusions, live singing, and lightning-fast costume changes. This one-of-a-kind drag performance will take audiences on a wild, spooky, and hilarious journey filled with iconic characters and campy fun. Tickets are available on Eventbrite just by searching Nightmare on Drag Street. And you don't want to miss Misconception.
This sounds like a fun night.
She is an
don't know
absolute
about
blast.
Misconception.
She's great. She does every season. She's in now she does Provincetown in the summers.
Okay.
And then she's in Puerto Vallarta in the winters. I've known her for many years. She did a show down here. I want to say it was like before COVID. It's been a long time.
Okay.
But she does live singing. Her costume changes. She tears away. You can't even believe that there's something underneath. And they are elaborate and sequined and fabulous. And the songs that she finds to go with the characters, it's just hilarious. She's really, really
fabulous
good.
Event. We'd be there, but it's also trans inclusive night, and we'll be there for that. But you'll be definitely supported in what we do.
Yep, she's great.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we'll see everybody out there. And Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Misconceptions Nightmare on Drag Street on October 30th. Let's welcome anchor Robert Hadley. Reverend Hadley is a deacon at Holy Angels National Catholic Church in Wilton Manors and a certified ambassador with the Faith and HIV program. Secularly, Reverend Hadley works as a health educator with Broward House and with our own Hotspots Happening Out team as an event specialist. Robert, the World AIDS Day Interfaith Prayer and Song will be held on November 29th. Tell me, what's happening out?
This is the third time we're doing this event. It's not a World AIDS Day itself, because that's a separate event. It's a separate interfaith prayer service for everybody, whether you have a faith or no faith, or religion, no religion. We've had beautiful speakers in the past, and we have beautiful musicians who sing from their heart for the presentation. It's brief, it's intimate, and it's very calming and informative for people. It'll be on a Saturday, because that Sunday is the concert that the Brigade is having for World AIDS Day, and the candlelight vigil itself will be downtown Fort Lauderdale. So on that Saturday night, 7:30, lots of parking at the Holy Angels Church at 1436 26th Street in Wilton Manors.
I noticed in the story, is there ways people can contribute or be part of the event?
Contact me directly at Rev Hadley. I'm Proton Mail.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, this is, I love bringing together all types of interfaith events, especially for the LGBTQ community who are, as we all know, are sometimes excommunicated from their own religious background. So these interfaith things are really important.
Exactly. And that seems that your event will kick off kind of the whole weekend of World AIDS Day.
Hopefully.
So starting, and that's...
I don't want to call it a somber moment, but respectful and inspiring. Begin the way the whole weekend.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
Go from a wonderful drag show the next day.
There you go.
Next day.
It's a different kind of church.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at World AIDS Day Interfaith Prayer and Song on November the 29th.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, Jeff Oliverio. Jeff Oliverio is the founder and president of the Hollywood LGBTQ+ Council and serves as co-chair for the upcoming 5th annual My Hollywood Pride, which returns in January 2026. He also serves on the Save Gala Committee. Jeff is a director and certified financial planner with Truist Wealth, based in Fort Lauderdale. Welcome, Jeff.
I'm really happy to be here. Unfortunately for Gay Christmas this year for Halloween, I'm going to be out of town.
No.
So I won't get to partake in a lot of the celebrations, but I did want to make a quick plug for everyone to check out the Save Halloween party in Miami Beach this year. It's an iconic event that's been around for many, many years. You can go to save.org to get more information. There's tickets available, and it all goes to support, of course, the cause of Save, of helping us to support our democracy in America. So that is the most important thing you can do on Halloween.
That's actually on Halloween night, on Friday the 31st.
That is on the real Halloween, absolutely, absolutely.
Not the fake Halloween that has started about a week ago?
Yes. We had the fake Halloween in Hollywood this past weekend. We had Hollyweird on Saturday night.
Oh, Hollyweird. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so it's been a week of Halloween already. So I did get some Halloween. I just didn't get...
I live in Wilton Manors. Every night is Halloween.
True, right? Yeah. I saw there was a lot of costumes this weekend, so I think everyone's in the spirit. I'm Jeff Oliverio, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Sports legend Diana Nyad joins Stonewall National Museum for dinner and bold project announcement. Fort Lauderdale's Stonewall National Museum, Archives, and Library is making waves this November with the announcement of a groundbreaking new project, the Nyad LGBTQ+ Sports Archive. The initiative will be introduced by legendary athlete, author, and motivational speaker Diana Nyad at a special dinner on November 5th at 6 p.m. Best known for her historic swim from Cuba to Key West, Nyad will join Stonewall's team to unveil this new national archive celebrating queer athletes, sports, history, and culture. The collection will feature contributions from professional and amateur sports figures who have helped shatter the myth that queer people don't do sports. A national touring exhibition is planned for 2026 to share these stories across the U.S. Robert Keston, Stonewall Museum's president and CEO, shared, quote, "The new archive will be about success in sports, advocacy, and Diana's iconic fighting spirit," end quote. I'm excited about this. I love that the Stonewall National Museum is finding new ways to bring eyeballs to the museum. I think it's important. We all know the obstacles that they're facing from funding and the loss of a lot of the funding that they're receiving. So I'm assuming that this dinner is also designed to help support the initiatives that they're doing. So that would be my first recommendation, is to encourage people to go to the dinner. And if you can't go to the dinner, to go to the Stonewall Museum website and to make a donation to support and protect queer history.
Yeah, that's great. And like they said, everybody says, oh, queer people don't do sports. And we all know that that's not true.
Yes.
But to be able to bring an archive and put everything in one place where people can access it and then to tour with it, I think that's really important and really,
have
really
somebody
great.
actually participated in the gay games and out games. It's nice to see a collection of things coming together. Actually started the first team for HIV positive athletes in any sport for the gay games in 2000.
Wow.
We had teams with members from all over the world, and almost every team they're part of, the illegals won silver in volleyball. Our weightlifter won gold. So it's impressive. Hopefully we'll make those archives the archives.
That's great, yeah.
And I think it's important to remember in this story, by saying queer people don't do sports, it's really just because queer people weren't allowed to reveal who they were in sports.
Right.
So it's a
myth comes
coming out in many ways of the legends that have been part of sports for our whole entire life that we weren't able to tell their stories before.
I'm Jennifer McClain, and let's queer up the world view. Facebook is flooded with fake LGBTQ plus news meant to divide. A wave of fake LGBTQ plus news is spreading across Facebook, falsely claiming that celebrities and athletes have made anti-queer statements. Posts have accused Dallas Cowboys CeeDee Lamb of refusing to wear a rainbow armband, Olympian Molly O'Callahan of boycotting events with trans swimmer Leah Thomas, and singer Sam Smith of criticizing conjoined twins' pronouns. None of these claims are true. Sports editor David Evans called the Lamb story fabricated, while Swimming Australia confirmed comments attributed to O'Callahan were fake. Smith, who uses they-them pronouns, has long been the target of hoaxes about their identity. Experts warn that such disinformation is designed to inflame division. Dr. Danny Madrid Morales of the University of Sheffield said that division is a very common approach, adding that some spread lies for political influence, others for profit. As social media moderation weakens and AI blurs fact and fiction, users are urged to verify before sharing. Because in this digital age, fake news travels faster than truth. And ain't that the truth?
Absolutely.
It is so hard. I feel like every story that I read or everything that's shared, I question it.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what is true. And even if it's a good thing, even if it's a good story, it could be Travis Kelce donates $1 million to something positive.
Yeah.
And it's like, did he though?
Yeah.
And then you look and he didn't. Dolly Parton showed up at, or Reba McEntire showed up at Dolly Parton's deathbed.
Yeah.
They're all AI generated images. The story is completely false. I don't know if you saw, Dolly did a video saying she was alive and well, and then Reba did a response saying, I don't think I would have been the last one at her bedside. But, and that's positive things. So imagine how much worse it is when it's a negative thing, saying that somebody is making disparaging comments or, maybe contributing to a anti-LGBTQ cause. I'm very passionate about this story.
I was telling my coworkers earlier, a quote I'll never forget is Abraham Lincoln saying, "Never trust anything you read on the internet."
This is good advice. But listen, we need to be prepared for the onslaught of these stories. We're going into the midterm elections, and this is going to be on steroids across the entire United States, trying to, especially using, again, wedge issues like transgender people, LGBTQ community. They're going to target those stories because they get clicks, and they're going to use them against candidates that are supporting our community. So I think we're just only unfortunately, at the tip of the fake iceberg.
I'm Reverend Hadley, and let's queer up gay students in youth culture. In Texas, LGBTQ students are facing growing hostility as state cracks down on gender discussions. Transgender non-binary students in Texas say intolerance is rising as the state intensifies restrictions on gender-related instruction. Several students told the Texas Tribune they've experienced escalating harassment and alienation on campuses, once seen as very inclusive. Beth, a transgender student at Texas Tech, said, "I know it could be a lot better off if I lived somewhere else, if I wasn't considered a monster." For years, Texas Tech has served as a haven for LGBTQ students, hosting events like Lubbock Pride and the Big 12 LGBTQ Allies Summit. Those programs have since faded, voicing the faces of a shifting climate. At the University of Texas at Austin, a non-binary and transgender student, Liz Graff, described being physically bumped and socially isolated. Other students echoed similar experiences, describing campuses that have become increasingly more hostile over the past 2 years. Their period aligns with the wave of LGBTQ student legislation and policies promoting prompting Campus Pride 2023 to stop recommending Texas schools to queer students. Governor Greg Abbott's order to close LGBTQ student resource centers marked a turning point. Since then, crackdowns have continued, including a recent firing of a Texas A&M professor for discussing gender identity in class. Having spent a lot of time in Dallas, we go to Austin for a sense of normalcy, and how Austin becomes a bright center in the star. Texas has never been a bastion of liberalism with small pockets. It's just sad to see that state like Florida is going so far backwards and dragging people along with it.
You know, the tough part for students, especially like who are going to state schools, first and foremost is the economics. You're going to a state school because you're getting in-state tuition. So it might be, great for Campus Pride to say, don't go to colleges in Texas, which I understand the rationale for it, but the ability of these students to, transfer to California or to New York or to somewhere else, is very limiting. I want to encourage students and anyone that's facing that is, there are resources that are outside of your college and university that hopefully they can lean on, because again, they're, mandating these things, or any other local organizations to reach out to. And it's going backwards. I mean, it's at a time before there were, I've been out of college for a long time now, but I will say, remembering that was, almost 30 years ago, to remember that we had LGBTQ resources then. Again, I went to school in New Jersey, which is a lot more liberal, but to think that like in 2025, we're getting rid of LGBTQ student resources is, and it's very Texas.
But the resources are not just the schools, they're blanketing, they're, getting rid of resources. So even though hopefully there's something private that they could lean on, like you said, there's no funding for that either. And states like Texas and Florida are pulling back all the resources for that, whether it's at a state level or just privately funded, or just, they're taking our money.
Yeah, they are doing that. I think that the one thing that, if we did compare to 30 years ago, would be that the resources of having access to the internet and information is at least one thing that people have that they didn't have back then.
If you can believe it.
Yes, that they have resources outside of their, that doesn't help your day-to-day life when you're being ostracized at college, where you're going there to better your life and study and, do the things that are required of you, and being faced with a hostile environment is, is really disappointing.
I know there are two great resources in Texas, one in Houston, one in Dallas. United Church of Christ, the Cathedral of Hope in Dallas, and Resurrection MCC in Houston. Those are so supportive. They become resource centers to the community in general, and people are flooding them for information and hope, not just a good message, but for support and respect and honest, fair information.
Good resources.
Great.
Thanks for sharing that. Let's queer up politics. An attack on one is an attack on all. Army veteran Blaha runs for Congress to defend LGBTQ plus rights. Army veteran and former combat medic Dylan Blaha says he's running for Congress because an attack on one is an attack on all. What's happening right now to trans people, to the LGBTQ plus community, is not okay. Somebody needs to stand up, end quote. Speaking to The Advocate, he explained that he was raised to believe in equality and can't stay silent as transgender people, drag performers, and queer Americans are targeted. A lifelong ally, Blaha's campaign blends his personal convictions with his military experience. He said, quote, "The military taught me that silence and inaction carry consequences. When governments stop valuing human life, it starts small, and that's why you stand up early," end quote. Calling himself a fighter ally, Blaha said his campaign includes trans and non-binary volunteers, developing data-driven policy proposals to strengthen non-discrimination protections, as no human should be left behind. He links equality with economic justice, stating, quote, "You can't separate equality from affordability. The trans woman sleeping in her car because she got fired deserves housing just as much as the single mom who can't afford rent," end quote. Blaha's unapologetic stance places him among a new generation of progressive Democrats unafraid to champion queer rights. This is a great story because I do, first of all, I of course commend him for actually taking a stance.
Yeah.
We're starting to hear, members of our own community, first and foremost, and then of course the political community stating that, maybe we shouldn't lean into some of these issues that the other side is pressing. Don't show as much support for the trans community. Don't show as much support for the queer community. And I think, as we all know, people that have no conviction should have no place in politics. You have to stand on something. If you're trying to run for office based upon a focus group, you should probably find another job.
Yep. Well, and like Lin-Manuel said so succinctly, if you stand for nothing, what will you fall for?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's great. And when you started telling the story, I didn't realize that he wasn't LGBTQ plus.
Yeah.
And so to have an ally say, "This is my platform," that's important.
Absolutely.
It's like it's anybody who is in the quote unquote majority standing up and saying, "I speak for the marginalized above all else." In his case, I am a cis, hetero, white male in politics. I mean, that's top of the food chain.
Yeah.
And he's saying, "I'm lifting everybody else up." And I think that's great. And hopefully we'll see more of him.
I hope so.
I like the fact that I was from Illinois, my home state. Who was an unknown person, became a senator and became president, was from Illinois too. I'll find out what Congressional 13 is. It may be one of my former districts. Well,
yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to follow his
someone
campaign.
To stand up for reality and truth.
Yeah, and I think these stories are important to find these candidates because, again, although you do not live in Illinois, every senator that goes to Washington, D.C. makes decisions for you. So support candidates that are on our side.
I'm Reverend Hadley, and let's queer up gay culture. Joe Benitez opens up to his husband, Tommy DiDario, on coming out at 24. A Good Morning America weekend host, Joe Benitez, is getting deeply personal for the first time on his husband's podcast. More than 2 years after launching I've Never Said This Before with Tommy DiDario, the iHeart series finally turns the mic on DiDario's own spouse. In this week's episode, Benitez sits down with DiDario for what's being called the most revealing interview yet. When asked for what advice he'd give his younger self, Benitez says, "It's going to be okay." Benitez reflected on the pain of staying closeted for too much time in his early life. For me, it was growing up gay and keeping what I thought was a secret. It was something I didn't want to talk to anybody about until I was 24 years old. You worry, what will hold me back? That time the message from society was, Yeah, it would be okay if DiDario Benitez was full interview premiered and today, iHeartRadio and all major podcast forums. I commend him for coming out on TV. When people are public people are seen and come out and tell their story, we talked about it before, when we tell our truth, we hear our truth, the truth is hidden and taken from us, that's when strength happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, he's coming from, born here in Miami, coming from, probably, he's obviously from a Cuban background. His parents were immigrants. It was not easy to make that decision. And I think it's important, as you said, public figures that are sharing their stories, and I hate the word, but again, normalizing it to those who do not know the story, that, he is just like everyone else who falls in love and is an anchor on your local news, and none of those things impact why you watch him or why you're watching Good Morning America. Right. He is just like everybody else that comes across your television screen. I think that's the best part that he can share. Yeah, and to be able to do it with his husband on his husband's podcast. Yes. And for those out there who do not follow him on social media, I would highly recommend going to their Instagram page, checking them out.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up the USA view. Protesters rally after Texas removes pride crosswalks in Houston's Montrose district. Several people gathered along Houston's Montrose Bridge on Monday to protest the removal of the Pride Crosswalk, a move they say erases LGBTQ+ visibility. Governor Greg Abbott defended the action as removing political ideologies from Texas streets for safety, citing federal orders. But protesters disagree. Protester Davis Mendoza de Rusman said, quote, Governor Abbott made the decree to remove our rainbow sidewalks as a way to remove our visibility. But we're really out here to make sure it backfires on him, end quote. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Keep spreading rainbows as far as you can. If they can't put them in crosswalks, put them somewhere else.
Absolutely. Key West is doing that. And as we all know, Florida has gotten rid of almost all of the rainbow crosswalks in the state. They're started with Pulse in the middle of the night. And but Key West is going to do an archway. Yes. Welcoming everybody to the gay area. Sorry, I know exactly where it is. I just can't say it. Down in Key West, they're going to have an archway just like they have welcoming everybody to Bahama Village. Nice. For the gay community. And I think we still have ours at Sebastian Beach. I don't think that's been taken away because of where it sits. So... But keep speaking out. Paint your own porch. Paint your own fence.
That's happening
Paint
everywhere.
your driveway.
Churches are doing it to their stairs. Churches are doing it, sidewalks everywhere. And what's nice is when Florida had their big meeting about this, Commissioner Steve Glassman pointed out how traffic studies say street art slows down and saves traffic, fewer accidents because of street art, whether it's rainbow or not. So,
yeah, those are facts.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up politics. Trump teases third term. Equality Caucus slams wannabe king. Talk. President Donald Trump refused to rule out seeking a third term when pressed by reporters aboard Air Force One. He said, quote, I haven't really thought about it. I would love to do it. But am I not ruling it out? You have to tell me, unquote. While praising Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Vice President J.D. Vance as possible 2028 contenders. The 22nd Amendment bars any president from serving more than twice. Gay Representative Mark Takano, co-chair of the Equality Caucus, told The Advocate, quote, Americans will not kneel for this wannabe king, end quote. Well, they haven't stopped them from violating any other amendments, so I don't think it's a done deal that says he won't try to run. God help us.
I just say don't get distracted by these stories as much as the actual things that are happening right now. So these are, Trump is a master at getting people to, divert their attention to something that he says. Look at what he's actually doing today.
That's so true. It's a distraction technique. People want to lose their SNAP benefits, food, up the tables, while you talk about something else. So this is a big switch thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm Reverend Hadley with 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. A viral video calls out ageism in gay bars. Respect our queer elders. A viral video has the LGBTQ community talking about filmmaker Chris Stanley, and he shared a lip sync of a drag performer, Tara Discoff's impassioned words blasting ageism among gay men. Discoff say, the way gay men talk about older men is disgusting. Next time you see an older queer person at the bar, say hello, buy him a drink. You nasty little twink. The video has racked up hundreds of thousands of views, with many praising the reminder, respect and learn from our queer elders. That's impressive. I like that. When I was at the Center in Halstead, Chicago Community Center, they had a large senior program, separate entirely from the youth program. One day they brought them all together and had people walk one-on-one or group of small to tell their stories. There was so much interested from the older people to learn what the new generation was doing, and the younger kids to learn what they had not been taught in schools. So yes, learn from our people. Share our, everything else. Share our stories.
Share
Come
our stories. Yeah. Yep. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think ageism is restricted to the LGBTQ community, but we certainly are probably the one of the biggest offenders of it. So I like the message here as well.
Yep.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. Tim Curry on privacy, passion, and permission to be different. Beloved actor Tim Curry is back in the spotlight with his new autobiography, Vagabond, but fans hoping for steamy secrets may be disappointed. The Rocky Horror Picture Show icon keeps his private life just that. In Vagabond, he writes about his relationships are, quote, respectfully, none of your fucking business, end quote. Curry, 79, does open up about his childhood and career, from losing his father at age 10 to finding freedom in acting. Of playing Frankenfurter, he says, quote, he gave a lot of teenagers the permission to be different, and I'm very happy that he did that he did have that power. As ever, the man behind the makeup remains delightfully enigmatic, exactly as he intends. This is, I love the story of encouraging people to be different. I saw last night they did a show of Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Miami Beach Bandshell. It's a live viewing of it for audience members. So it's also good to see that coming back into the fold. I think that movie is a place where queer people and straight people came together a long time ago, and everyone thought it was very normal and very fun. We need more of that. We need to bring back that spirit of what Rocky Horror was really about.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, everybody loves Tim Curry. Everybody loves Rocky Horror. Whether you're gay, straight, in between, questioning, wearing the fishnets, or enjoying somebody else wearing the fishnets.
And that is ambiguous about his response. I like that even more about him.
Yeah.
None of your fucking business. What an appropriate response.
Exactly.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up drag culture. Tina Romero's Queens of the Dead brings queer glitter and gore just in time for Gay Christmas. Halloween, often dubbed Gay Christmas, is just days away, and horror royalty Tina Romero is delivering the perfect treat. The daughter of zombie legend George A. Romero is stepping behind the camera with her debut feature, Queens of the Dead, a wild comedy horror about drag queens and club kids trapped in a Brooklyn warehouse under zombie siege. Tina told Out.com, quote, I'm so happy that I can take this legacy and put a queer stamp on it. It's not a George Romero movie, but I hope people feel his spirit, end quote. With an all-star LGBTQ cast, including Margaret Cho, Cheyenne Jackson, and Dominique Jackson, Queens of the Dead promises camp, glamour, and glitter in the blood. Queens of the Dead is already in theaters. I can't wait. And I just saw my friend Nina West is also in this movie. And she was talking about it. And as somebody else who has been in a queer camp horror movie.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to see another one, and this one in theaters.
Absolutely. Well, yours showed in a theater in Hollywood. We showed the movie as well. But I love this. I love this so much because, again, giving especially queer actors a platform to kind of put all of them in one kind of spoof together is really iconic. And love seeing Dominique Jackson back on the screen, of course.
I hope it plays well in Texas.
These are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. Our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ family.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform. Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells of these type of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That's the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Jeff Oliverio, and I thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ anchors here at Queer News Tonight, Jennifer McClain and Robert Hadley. We'll see you daily at 8 p.m. Into our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a good night.